I want to talk about meltdowns. I touched on it a little bit. So meltdowns is like a buildup of emotion. It can be a very physiological experience, tingling in the arms. For some people, feeling like they're going to explode. Sometimes there's self-harm when they might be hitting their heads or cutting, lashing out towards others. For some of my clients, they might lose their words during this period, so unable to speak. And this can lead to a lot of shame and exhaustion. So shame that they can't cope and that they're having this kind of behavior, and just physical exhaustion because it can last for hours. It can also lead to relationship damage because sometimes people lash out to those they love. So what causes meltdowns? One of the clients I spoke to, we kind of came up with this together. It's the idea of the overlap between emotional overload, sensory overload, and information overload. So with the emotional overload, it's often overlapping emotions together. Information overload, anxiety, do I have to know this? Learning too much at one time that they can't keep up with. And sensory load, experiencing too much in their environment. What can help? Some of these strategies are actually just picked up from DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, looking at distress tolerance strategies. So for some people, deep pressure is incredibly soothing. They may use weighted blankets or put themselves between a piece of heavy furniture and the wall to relax. Ice packs can be a way to reduce self-harm. Having that intense sensation can distract them away from wanting to harm themselves. Even having a drink sometimes can really calm the body down. Other relaxation strategies like a distraction, so pulling the mind away from being so distressed into something else is very helpful. For sensory deprivation, one of my clients, she likes to put her weighted blanket over her head and literally just sit in the pitch black and to regroup that way. Other clients enjoy a nice bath, because a bath, when you go under the water, it's like silent. You can't hear anything. Grounding exercises can be very helpful for clients or people who dissociate, so who start to really sort of feel like they're out of their own body and they're so distressed that they don't feel grounded. And I can touch on some of these when we have the panel later. Progressive muscle relaxation can help, and deep breathing. But ultimately, oftentimes when a teen or an adult is so distressed like this, they often want some space and time. They're very worried about what they might say. They don't want to say anything that might harm others. And they just want to have a little bit of quiet and time to themselves. Afterwards, they really appreciate any kind of support and understanding you can give them, and forgiveness if there is any kind of lashing out behavior that took place, because they didn't mean it. It really was a period when they were feeling out of control. What else helps is having a great support network. One thing I do with clients is working on strengthening their social skills. We sometimes will create scripts to prepare when they're entering into social situations. I can text with clients in the session, so we practice social communication and using social media. We do role play practices together, and all this is to build their skills and their confidence when they are engaging in social situations. We talk about who you can trust, so going back to that personality traits exercise, because some people you just can't and they will take advantage, and other people are incredibly supportive and good contacts and allies to have in your corner. I teach clients how to advocate for themselves so they can educate others about their condition, but also get the supports they need. We talk about disclosure. This is a difficult topic. Sometimes disclosure about the diagnosis can be incredibly helpful and powerful, and other times it can be damaging. So we talk about the pros and cons and risks and benefits of disclosing a diagnosis to others, because as Dr. Gilbert mentioned, a lot of these women haven't had a diagnosis out in the world, and a lot of people don't know that they're struggling the way they are. And support groups like AsperFem, this is a group that I run with a woman on the spectrum. She's a trained therapist, and we do the group together. And for these women to have a place where they can go, where people get them, where they've had similar experiences, whether you're 18 or 73 years old, there's always this common overlap of mutual respect, and I encourage that kind of development if possible. And of course, celebrate growth. I see a lot of growth in the people I work with. A lot of the times, the girls and women are very motivated to make changes in their lives. And with that kind of motivation comes incredible growth and change. Making sure that they're living a life that's meaningful for them and they feel good about the direction that they're moving in, because that's going to help them overcome depression. And focusing on hope, always focusing on what they can do, not what they can't do, because that's what everyone needs, right? Is to be told you can't do this, this, and this. No, you can be amazing. You can be creative. You can empower yourself. These are the kinds of messages that I focus on in my work. So thank you today for listening.